Alright guys, so today we're going to be doing carburetor on a Shindaiwa. I think this is an sht-231. That's what it looks like. Or ht-231. The carb kit will come in a complete package like this. I'll open it up, show you all the parts are inside of it. I'll put the link in the description below. Just click on it, it'll take you right to this kit. I use them all the time, they work great. Comes with, dropping a primer ball. Comes with everything you'll need. Couple of primer balls, spark plug, extra fuel filter, fuel lines, another fuel filter. It's got the grommet and the vent on the fuel lines. Gasket that goes between the carburetor and the engine, that's very important. And then there's the carburetor. The reason this is important is that's a vacuum line, runs the fuel pump. All that'll be in the description below. First thing we're going to do is take off the air filter cover. Should be an air filter in that. Let me check compression on this thing. Pretty sure I checked this before and it was just a carburetor. This guy's obviously been running it without an air filter, which is horribad. We're going to take off the carburetor air filter assembly here. It's like a 5 or a 4 millimeter Allen. It's this one and this one. Take them out. We're replacing the fuel lines and everything. Just going to cut them. I'll tell you where everything goes. I highly suggest you change the fuel lines when you're doing the carburetor. There's an inner line on these that will collapse. It's thinner than the neoprene that's on the outside, and it'll collapse on you and make this not run properly. This thing's been sitting outside or something. Man, this thing's in rough shape. So the throttle, we're just going to turn this up and then turn this way, and that cable comes right out just like so, and then it slides right off. See, there's your carburetor. As you see, this is aiming a different direction than this one, so we're going to take these two screws out and spin this around. They're Phillips heads. Once you've got them out, it lifts right up and just spins right around. Just get it all the way around and then retighten them back in place. They're both facing the same way. We're going to go ahead and remove the gas tank because we need to be able to get to this grommet down below. So we're going to have the same Allen. There's 1, 2, and there's a third one down in the middle here. Take those 3 out. Loosen the bottom one, and then that's all cocked down to where I can get to this better. And then you're going to take like a flathead screwdriver, get it under the grommet, and pry it out. I need 2 hands. I need to hold the tank. Found issue on this one is the cotton foam fell off the fuel filter. So you need that to soak up the gas. It's kind of like waterboarding. It'll soak it up and then that pulls it through with no air bubbles. Without it, you get air bubbles and they make the machine stop running. Now we're going to go ahead and open up the tank. We're going to drain any gas. We should have done that already, drained all the gas. It's just a step I missed. Make sure there's no debris or anything in there. Just clean it all out. With the new fuel lines, we're going to take and put the filter on one of the lines, not the one that has the vent on it, on one of the other lines. And then we're going to pull that line that way a little bit so it makes it shorter than the other line, so that way we know which one has the filter on it when we're done putting it in. Like that. Now we got one that's shorter than the other one. The shorter one has the filter. We push the filter in these other lines. Push it all right into the gas tank. Get it to work in there, and then backside down into the tank, and then just work your way around it. If you have to, you can use a screwdriver. Oh, look, it popped right in. If you have to, you can use a screwdriver to jam it in. Get it where it belongs. Remember, short line is the fuel filter line. Long line is not. This one didn't have the vent, so it's whatever. It's multiple uses. You can reuse your old grommet too if you want to. Alright, so big nipple is the one that takes the filter. Little nipple, furthest away from the primer ball, is the one that goes to the return line. So short line with the filter goes on the closest to the primer ball one, and the furthest from the primer ball one is the one without the filter. The lines in there, just kind of line it up and make sure your lines aren't too long. If these are kinking, it's not going to run properly, but that's good. So we're going to go ahead and put these bolts through the carburetor with the choke arm up, and this goes towards the back, so we're going to go through the other side just like this. Alright, now we've got this in here. You see the small hole. You want to put this gasket on where the small hole is lining up with these small holes. Let's go ahead and shove it down. Boom, see the small hole lines up. That's also going to line up with this guy right here. That's your vacuum line that runs the fuel pump built into your carburetor. Now we got these in. We're going to start them in, tighten them down. It's like 4 or 5 millimeter Allen wrench. Just go ahead and tighten them down. We're going to go ahead and retighten the gas tank down. You got the little felt washer. You're going to go through that, and then you got another felt washer that goes on this side, and it goes through this metal plate. So you're going to put that on, and then a felt washer on, and then it goes through this metal plate and into that hole like that. And then you're going to do the same thing on this side. You got your felt washer, you stick it in. Got another felt washer that goes on this side, stick it in. It's going to take 2 hands. Just like that again. And then we're going to tighten all 3 down, 4 millimeter or 5 millimeter. I'm pretty sure this is a 4 millimeter one. But we're going to tighten all 3 down. The throttle just slides right back up into the into this guy here. Oh, here, we'll unplug this wire and make it easier. Probably should have just done that first before we bolted it in, but you know, whatever. Who wants to do the easy way? Just gonna slide this right up in. It's hard to do it through the phone. Up in there like that, and then we're gonna just line up the barrel. Just gonna go a little bit this way. That way when we throttle it up, it'll line right up with that cable and it slides right down into it. See, it's trying to do it. I need both hands. There, so you get it slide right in there. And then you see the barrel's kind of stuck outside of it. Just squeeze the trigger. It pops right in. Boom. No problem. Ready to rock and roll now. Now we can plug this kill wire back in. No biggie. Now we're going to blow all this sand out of this. Normally there's a gasket that goes around this, and I have them, but because this has a hole, that's going to void the usefulness of that gasket. So I'm going to cut out some gasket material that fits in here, push the bolt through the hole, and it'll cover up the whole area so it just sucks up, you know, just clean air instead of dirt. We're going to go ahead and dump some gas in it. Here, let me turn the light on. And we're going to prime it up. There it is. Nice and full primer ball. Guys, again, I'll put the parts in the description below. If this helped you out in any way, shape, or form, give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, Today's t-shirt, I'll put it in the description below as well. I'm going to start making my own t-shirts soon. Put the little banner up pretty soon. We'll do some free giveaways and stuff once I start doing that. Hopefully this summer I can start getting some t-shirts out. Peace.